Hello, I'm Magda from Amilittlecreature. In this video I'd like to present you crochet pattern Spaniel Dog by Julia Ogor, Crochet Pattern Guru. This is a cute dog I'd like to make for a girl, little girl, as a gift. You see the parts I've crocheted, they are not finished yet. And in the video I'll show you how I'm adding these joints for the legs. But firstly, let's look at the first pages of the pattern with materials. The designer uses Lotus Travka stretch by Camtex, 2.5 skins, beige, and Nako for the ears. Tapestry needles, stuffing, polyester, safety eyes, 12 millimeters, semi beads. I will use safety eyes in a moment. I'll show you. And for the nose, you may shape it with a polymer clay, black clay. You have cotter pins, discs as joints. And the designer uses 2 mm crochet hook and Velcro for brushing the toy, dry pastels. You have tips that the toy is made with the continuous spirals, rounds, and we have also shift stitches. That's additional stitch that you need to make to align the marker. You have the swatches for the stretch Lotus Travka and Nako, and a picture for cotter pin joint. I don't have this cotter pin joints. I saw it on AliExpress, but I'm using this joints. It's a plastic. I will use it for my toy. I'm crocheting with a hook, the 2 mm crochet hook, the same as designer uses, but I'm using only Nako one skin. You have abbreviations used in the pattern. So let's look at these parts. You see the legs. I've added one joint. I wanted to try how to use it because you see here is a little space when you crochet with the 2 mm crochet hook, and in the legs you have markers. And when you're crocheting, it's set to make in round 21 marker to mark the place where to join the right leg, and then in the same round you see the marker when you're going to make the left leg. I've pinned this marker just in case in 2 points because I have no idea which my leg will be right and which left. So here is the right leg and it will be the left one. I need to add the joint here. As for hind legs, it's said that you need to track the position of marker, and marker goes along the central line of the foot here at the back, and you need to crochet shift stitches to make the marker go straight, because you have this 2 single crochet together. You're decreasing the foot, this leg. In the pattern you see these cotter pins. How is it used? I didn't finish this leg yet because I wanted to add this pin, and now I'm I will finish the right leg, and in a moment I show you how to add these joints into the left hind leg. Firstly, I have this marker. I will insert my crochet hook 2 millimeter, and because I have this thicker pin, I'm using a crochet hook with a bigger and bigger size to enlarge this hole. Now 3 millimeter crochet hook. If you have this disc, this pin, it's not needed, but I have to make it hole bigger, so I'm using bigger hook sizes. You see, 4.5 millimeter, then 5 millimeter and 6. It's time consuming, but I have to add this joint, so I need to make the hole bigger. I have a 5 millimeter crochet hook, and you see now 6 millimeter, and I think it's almost done. It's a good way to enlarge the little hole, and I'll put this and the part of the plastic joint is inserted. I'll stuff the leg and finish the part. Here is the body. You see the markers where you have to put this plastic joints, and the same thing goes with the forelegs. You crochet 2 forelegs, drag the position of marker goes along the central line of lower part of this. It should be like this, and you have this markers in around 20 seconds, you see, for right leg and for left leg. It means the arms. So I need to make the same with this arms, and insert the plastic joints. If this is left, I'll insert here and remove this marker, I don't need it, and for the right I insert in this marker. The marker is not needed. Then when I insert the plastic joints, I have the body, and in this body you need to add shift stitches because you need to align the marker. Here is the marker, it goes along the central line of the body, the back of the body. Here is the back, here is the front, so be careful when you're inserted these legs. Here is the front part, so here is the left leg, and here is the right leg. I will show you later this step. Here you see the head, and it's a great way for shaping the eye sockets, because you crochet chain chain 4 is inside the head. Unfortunately, I stuff the head, so I'll try to show you this. And it thanks to this chains that you skip 10 stitches of the round and you crochet 4 chains, you have this part shaped, squeezed a bit, and I like this way to make the eye sockets. Oh, I'm not sure if you will see this. Here is the chain. In the pattern you have everything explained, so follow the steps and you will know how to make it. Because this is video, it's not a tutorial, it's just a presentation when I show you how I'm making the toys, but it's not tutorial, so bear in mind that I concentrate on the particular parts of this pattern. If something is difficult, I hope my previous videos are helpful. I've got messages from you that you use my videos for crocheting toys, that my videos are helpful. So thank you very much for your feedback, because it gives me motivation for further crocheting, for my further projects. You may leave the comment if you want to. You see the head, and round 11 you crochet chain 4, skip 10 stitches for sculpting the eyes and bridge of the nose. And for the head you have 2 markers, 2 round markers. Firstly, it's the side, it goes along the side of the muzzle, and then in round 13 you place new marker and it goes along the central line of the lower here at the back of the head. It's important to align the marker for this eye sockets. I fold the muzzle in half to check if this new marker goes at the bottom, along the bottom part of the head. So check it, it's important, because then you will have increasing part here to shape the forehead, the upper part of the head. You need to check if it goes, if this increases are going symmetrically at the both parts of the head. And here is the marker. I'll add the disc, the joint here, or I'll check if I'll add the plastic joint or just to sew the head to the body. In the pattern you need to add a 25mm disc to make the head movable. You see the ears and the eyelids and the tail. I have safety eyes, 12mm, and I think these eyes are okay for my toy. The size is good, so I'll probably leave the safety eyes and I will not cut this this ending and glue it. As for the yarn, Nako is a great soft yarn. You need to try if you didn't use this yarn for amigurumi. Write in comment what you think of this yarn. Is it easy for you to crochet this yarn, or do you find it difficult? I like the yarn very much, and I crochet with this yarn the cute owl by Little Owl's Hat. my chicken, this yellow chicken I've made for Easter by Little Owl's Hat, also was crocheted with the Nako patty. So now I'm adding these joints for the upper legs, these arms, and then I'll finish with the joints. And you need to brush the toy using Velcro, shape the muzzle, the legs. You'll see in a moment. I've inserted the plastic joints here, but I've realized that it's really difficult to put the disc because it's quite thick. I'll show you in a moment while inserting these arms. So instead of this, if I have a problem, I'm using a piece of felt. I've cut a hole in the center to put this ending through. Okay, it's from the inside. I put this through the body. Now I put the felt on the ending, and I finishing closing with this, how to say it, washer to secure the leg. I have the upper leg, I'll call it the arm also, and I'm inserting this ending, and I've tried to use the plastic, but it was difficult to add this, and then to put this is the washer. So I decided to cut the piece of felt, and instead of this, I'm using a piece of felt and then I will add this. And I flatten this with a hot spoon to secure it better in a moment. You see, I'm using a hot spoon. I've burned it a bit, and I've flattened the ending to secure the joint. It's possible with a plastic joint when you have this disc and a spin. You need to use the clasp to secure the joints that's stated in the pattern. Be careful working with the hot spoon. Don't touch your fingers and the yarn. In the pattern, here is the photo with the disc that you need to insert with a pin before you close the body, close the hole of the body. I realized that I don't have this plastic joint, so I show you the way I will use. I'm using the yarn and 2 buttons. And when I'll have the body almost done, 2 threads, thread the needle, and I'll insert like this. Here. I'll put this here before I close the body opening, and then I'm threading the needle with this whole threads, and I'll put it here where I have a head marker through the one hole, and in this place it's also better to have less rounds, because now you see I could have difficulties with inserting the joints. This is in the body. I need to thread the needle with 2 threads, and I pull through this, and these 2 threads I pull through the second hole in the button, and I'll secure the thread. I tie it up, but this should be inside, so I think I need to unravel some rounds to make this joining. So when I have this 2 button, imagine that it's in the body. I pull through the head. Imagine that it's this point at the bottom of the head, and then I take the button and I pull through the one hole and through the second hole, and tie this up. You see, this is one hole, and you have a kind of joints. Everything is movable. So this is my way. If you have the disc with the pins, you need to use a clasp to roll this metal pin. You see the head. I had to unravel some stitches to put this button inside to join, and I think I'll sew it a bit also, the body and the head. Now I need to sculpt the muzzle and the eyes and insert the safety eyes with a white felt. There is written in the pattern to take black thread to shape the muzzle. You have 3 points. Firstly, you insert in the magic ring and take it out in this three rounds up. Then you skip 7 rounds down this point 2 and insert the needle into point 3. Here is point 3, here is the magic ring and point 2. So you insert in the point 3 and then take it out in the point 2 and repeat several times. And then you sculpt the eyes. You have 3 points, A, B for the eye sockets, and 3 where you have this muzzle shaped. And you insert the needle in the point A. You skip one stitch and you insert and take it out in the point 3. Then you skip 1 stitch to the side, go up to the point B and you repeat it in this triangle. For sculpting the eyes, I'll use the same yarn, Nako Paris, as for the body. And here she is, my lady Spaniel Dog. I like her very much. Let's look at this. I showed you in the video I brushed the toy, sewed the ears. You saw that I've made a nose with a polymer clay, and I also made these pads with polymer clay too. I glue it with a Poxipol, and I also tinted the toy. For tinting I'm using dry pastels, Toys and Door, and sometimes I use the Gioconda soft pastel pencils. For example, in the pattern there is told to make these triangles here, so it's precise pencil for using. Just to remind you, I used a 2mm crochet hook and one kind of yarn, Nako Paris. My ears of this dog are brushed more than the rest of the body, and I glued the eyelashes. I showed you I used this kind of eyelashes. Firstly I glue it to the piece of black felt, and then with a felt under the eyelids. What is more, apart from the tinting, gluing and so on, I sewed the skirt. In the video I don't show you how to sew the skirt, and the pants, if you're interested in, I'll explain you, and if you would like to see the tutorial or something, I'll just leave a comment. I'll try to make the video for you. If you have a problem with the skirt, I recommend you to watch the video about the charming witch. There is a part of making clothes, so probably it would help you. I made this skirt with the 2 rectangles. I sewed together. Here is the wrong side. I used the French seam. It's more neat for me. Then I also overlocked these edges, and then I sew the lace to this edge. There is elastic band, and I sewed this flower beads inside. Here is a little bead also, and I think the wrong side is a knit, and I really pay attention to make the knit wrong side. And the second thing, here is my pants. This is my experiments, because I've made this on my own with no pattern. Firstly I took a piece of material and I tried to make the pattern. I draw the lines to shape these pants. You see, it's my prototype. Then I draw it on the paper. Here is my pants pattern, front, the back, folding line. I've made it with the 2 parts, but you may do it with the 1 part. Inside here is also knit part. Here you see I've used the fold over elastic for lingerie. I don't know how to say it in English, but I didn't add any seam allowances here on these edges, just used this this elastic and a zigzag stitch. And I have also made this little hole for the tail, because I realized after making the pants that the hole is needed. In a moment I put on this clothes. Here is also the band, elastic, silver elastic, and a flower. I've bought the flower some time ago, so it's nice finishing, I think. And what do you think of this dog? I think she's really cute. I like the project very much. You may purchase it on the Crochet Pattern Guru Etsy shop. This is not my pattern, I'm just making the Polish translation of the pattern, so it's a great opportunity to show you this project. If you would like to leave a comment, it's real motivating for me, so thank you very much for your comments, for your likes, thumbs up, subscribing my channel and following my Instagram, Facebook. Thank you, and see you in next videos. Bye.